Hello there, kia ora. This week, we saw a really fascinating example of what media theorists call agenda setting, when the media chooses a narrative to push with a clear agenda which then shapes the public perception on an issue. And this week, it was all about Green MP Tamitha Paul's comments about defunding the police. Tamitha's comments are the result of two perspectives. One of someone who's grown up as part of the group most likely to be targeted by police actions, leading to a systemic distrust which informs her viewpoints on the other perspective, that police are often ill-equipped to deal with everything that they deal with because they're a reactionary measure, and funding would be better spent on stopping the drivers of crime instead of reacting to the outcomes of not stopping those drivers of crime. Of course, experts have long told the current government that their tough on crime stances are in direct opposition to the research, and previous outcomes show that as well. But being tough on crime is a vote catcher, especially when you've peddled the stories of gang warfare, the imminent danger of ram raids, and called the court system soft on violent crime. But those drivers of crime are, according to screeds of research, the same that pop up time and time again when it comes to fixing what's wrong with society. Poverty, education, access to health services, both physical and mental, home life stability, and things like food security. The phrase defund the police is a shorthand for saying that we, as a society, need to better invest funds into those areas so that the work of the police isn't bogged down in reacting to the outcomes lack of investment in these areas cause. It's saying that we need to stop asking the police to be the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff. And we know that that's the shorthand because it's also been covered a lot by media in the past, including in resource packs for journalists and even John Oliver covering the topic. Over the past 6 years, it's been covered a lot. It's hardly new. But on Wednesday, media ran breathlessly to tell us how outraged politicians were at the comment. Chris Hipkins, Christopher Luxon, David Seymour, and Winston Peters were all asked their thoughts on the specific phrase. And their sound bites, well, they became the top videos pushed by our largest media company, with, ironically, an example of exactly the sort of outcome that occurs when police are reacting to something that they're not trained in properly. And here's the extra annoying thing. This year, the police have started to withdraw from mental health callouts, and both Police Minister Mark Mitchell and Mental Health Minister Matt Ducey said that it was so police could better focus on core police work. The Police Association themselves told Chris Hipkins when he was Police Minister how overworked they are because of these non-core policing activities that were being forced on them that they had to undertake. The political parties criticising her comments know the importance of what she is saying because they've supported those actions in the past. But they haven't used the phrase defund the police, which triggers some people like they're Tokoroa-based lawyers spitting at protesters saying genocide is bad. It wasn't until Thursday that Stuff ran a piece explaining the phrase, and explaining it was buried deep in an RNZ article. The Thursday story run by the Herald tried to poke holes in Tamitha's claims about Wellington beat cops throwing away property of homeless people, and it doesn't cover her rationale or explanation for her comments until 3/4 of the way down the article. TVNZ didn't run an explainer at all. And all of this is because of a couple of factors. The big one is engagement metrics. If we compare two social media posts by News Talk ZB, an unabashedly right-wing media organisation, which they released at around the same time, we see engagement rates skyrocket on the post about her comments. Same with Barry Soper framing the conversation deliberately to degrade the Greens. Research into New Zealand media representations of Māori, especially Wahine Māori, in positions of authority also show a clear pattern of differential reporting, using sensationalist techniques to frame news, prioritising negative stories over positive ones, and ignoring lived experiences which inform views and commentary. So when we take all of that on board, her comments were based on feedback from her constituents, her own lived experiences, the piles of academic research into the drivers of crime and how to mitigate them, the historic approach mainstream media in this country has towards Māori, particularly Wahine Māori, in positions of authority, and the long-used shorthand expression that was in play to indicate a better way of things being done. Well, I know it sounds like they're doing all this to be dramatic and grab sound bites, but it becomes really clear that this is agenda setting in action. Hey, thanks for checking out today's video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe so you get more updates as we go along. We deal with these guys for the rest of the year.